is the president of Susan B. Anthony List, Marjorie Dannenfelser. Hey, Marjorie, how are you?
Hello, Steve. I'm doing fine. I love being on your show. It's a great show.
Well, thank you very much. That's your first time on this new show. We're very excited about it. All right, so this ad, I mean, I think I don't understand how he thinks he could do what he's doing and have the policies he has at a time when, even though most of the media is ignoring the Gosnell trial, nonetheless there is this trial of this accused mass murderer, possibly serial killer, going on, where live babies were slaughtered by this doctor allegedly.
Yeah, I think you're right to point out the disconnect. That's what the ad you played tries to do without mentioning the Gosnell trial exactly. But there are certain times that, without question, that reality just catches up with lack of common sense. And the lack of common sense is, why would you not insist that equipment in any kind of clinic be clean, that a doctor should be required to wash his hands between procedures, that there should not be blood-splattered walls and horrible conditions, rusty instruments, things like that. All of these things were found in Virginia clinics, and they were being. And Attorney General Cuccinelli, who is now running for governor, was the guy really behind enforcing that. And the left and McAuliffe have really attacked him for that. This was all before the Gosnell situation became very apparent. Well, I mean, common sense is you should be doing that, whether it's an abortion clinic or not. But there's so much pressure, as there was in Pennsylvania, to not enforce those. Governor Ridge did not, because he was afraid about the pushback the abortion industry would put on him, and he was a so-called pro-choice governor. Well, it just takes being a human being, honestly, to really actually care enough to take care, at least at a minimum, of the women who are coming in, and also provide some dignity to some extent at all for the disposal of that.
Oh my gosh!
Of the product of the conception, of the product of the abortion. You know, in this case, in the Gosnell clinic, I hate to say these things, but it is the reality. I mean, he had severed feet and jars all over the place, and far worse.
No, and much far worse. But, and you talk about other governors and people who don't go along with these types of bills, and they're afraid. It's incumbent upon anybody with any sense of decency, but especially a Republican candidate, to not only back these kinds of bills, but to attack strongly when they see that Terry McAuliffe is doing what he's doing. Just like it was incumbent upon Mitt Romney, I believe, and John McCain to go after Barack Obama for not being able, as a state legislature in Illinois, to vote for the Abortion Life Protection Act. You're not going to lose it with women. You're not going to be accused by the press. You might be, but women favor this. They want safe, secure hospital rooms and doctor's office, and they want to keep babies that are born alive. That is such a radical position to have, and Republicans let it be and run from the controversy instead of talking about it.
Oh, Steve, you are preaching the righteous cause, and it is just reasonable. It is reasonable. You're exactly right about what women think. Young, old, middle-aged, all women think that clinics should be regulated no matter what. There are certainly abortion clinics. All women think that if a baby is born alive, it should be saved. All women, actually almost all women, reject third trimester abortions. We're talking 60, 70, 80% consensus on these issues. You don't find that in politics ever. When you do find it, run with it. Instead, they've run away from it because of the A word. And it is not logical. It's irrational. It's an emotional recoil. It's the same emotional recoil that we have when we even talk about this Gosnell topic. But the problem is, in the face of such horror, we can't recoil. We have to, as human beings, face this and require our leaders to really stand up to this. McAuliffe can't answer to this. He has not answered to this. He knows that he's weak on this issue, and he should be. He should be defeated in part because he can't stand for any humane situation when it comes to the abortion issue.
Yeah, no, I mean, McAuliffe, spokesperson, says this ad is another example of Cuccinelli's focus on social and ideological issues. Well, so be it. I mean, again, when it's a common sense, common decency issue, you could call it social, you could call it what you want. It's still a common sense, common decency issue.
I think he's wrong to say that nobody cares. I mean, that's kind of the line that he uses no matter what, and that's the line that every politician uses when they don't want to talk about the charge that's coming their way. But that's a huge mistake. He's been digging a hole for himself for a very long time, and the more he responds with that type of comment, the deeper that hole gets. Don't tell him, because we want him to.
Well, Susan, you do such great work at Susan B. Anthony List, and thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you again soon, and keep it up.
Oh, thanks for what you do. God bless.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you. All right, folks, we're going to come back. That's Marjorie. Did I say Susan? I said thanks, Susan. That's Marjorie Dannenfelser, president of Susan B. Anthony List, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. When we come back, we're going to be joined a little after we come back by Jonathan Dienst of NBC TV, WNBC TV here in New York, NBC News, the very, very latest in the trial, the investigation into the Boston Marathon bombers. So don't go anywhere. Steve Malzberg with you, 855-777-9660. Give a call.
The Steve Malzberg Show.